Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. So today we are going to be making the holiday pop-up card. It's super fun and cute. I'm going to show you how to make this. My name is Stacy Burrell. I'm one of our education content designers here at Michaels. I hope everyone is having a great holiday season. Again, if you have any questions, put it in that Q&A there for Chanel, and she's going to let me know if you have any, and just give me some, some engagement, like if you're doing different colors or just being creative, we want to know. So I love to interact with y'all through that Q&A. And then don't forget to tune in tomorrow as well. We still got winter workshop going on tomorrow, and we're going to be doing fun disco ball ornaments. So that's going to be fun too. So without further ado, let's go to my other camera, and then I'm going to show you what the supplies we're going to be using for today. All right, so what I'm using for this card today is we have some red, white, and green cardstock, and what that's going to be used is for our little box here. Our little pop-up piece is white, and then the little bow here is green. I'm using these colors because that's in my sample. If you want to use different colors, go ahead. You can use whatever colors. You can use your favorite colors. You can go multicolor with it. I love it when you guys get creative. Use whatever you want. And if you don't have these supplies here, you could also just use like some computer paper or really like notebook paper you could use, and then you could just decorate it and design it with whatever you have. I've got my kid safe scissors here. This is what we're going to be using to cut our card out. I've got some glue and a glue stick. I've got some pom-poms here for decoration. I've got some markers here to make a little design on our card. And I've got some liquid glue that's going to help get those pom-poms and the little sequins here that I have on the card. And again, if you don't have some of these supplies, it's totally fine. You can use whatever you have to decorate your card or to draw on it. You could use a pencil, you could use a marker, you can use a pen, whatever you have. It's totally fine. And if at any point I'm going too fast or you're having trouble, we do have a pre-recorded version of this card and this specific craft that's up live on our website right now, michaels.com/winterworkshop. So if at any point, like I'm going too fast or you're just having trouble and you need to go at your own pace, you can always go and check out that video there. So don't worry. And then of course, if you need me to do something over again, just put it in that Q&A, or if you have any questions for me, let me know. Because the only goal for today is to have fun. And as long as we're doing that, then we've achieved our goal. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to make here is I'm going to make our little holder for our card here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take a piece of red paper, just like this, and I'm just going to cut it to be more of a square shape. I'm going to keep it the length that it is because I'm going to show you how we make it into a holder using that extra length. But I'm just going to cut a little bit off here. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to be super precise with my measurements. If you want to be like super precise with it, you could get a ruler out and then measure like maybe 2 inches or 1.5 inches. But I really don't need to be super precise with it. So I'm just going to maybe cut there, and then I'm going to cut all the way down. All the pom-poms are going everywhere. All right. I'm going to cut a little bit off of there because that cut wasn't super straight, but that's okay because it doesn't need to be perfect. All right. So now I'm going to take my square piece of paper and I'm going to actually fold it together like this so that the edges meet up. And then I'm going to just flatten that fold there, just like that. And then that gives us a little holder. So now we just have to glue it together to keep it together. And I'm going to trim it a little bit. So our box is a little bit more uniform. But it doesn't have to be perfect. The best thing about making art is that it doesn't have to be perfect, because whatever you make, it's yours. It's your own creation, and it does not have to be exactly like someone else's creation, because it being yours is what makes it unique. All right, there we go. We've got our little box. So what I'm going to do to make this a little holder is I'm just going to put some glue on the sides here. I'm not going to put glue all over it. I'm just going to put it on the sides here so that when I put it together, there's a little opening here. And if you do put glue all over, it's totally fine. You can just make another one. It's not a big deal. All right, so I'm taking my glue stick and I'm gonna take my folded piece of paper. I'm gonna flatten it out a little bit just so I can show you where I'm gluing. So I'm taking my glue and just a little bit on the side here. You can be kind of generous with the glue just so that it sticks well. And I'm just putting it on the sides. I'm not putting it in the middle, just on the sides. And now I'm gonna take my folded piece of paper, I'm gonna fold it back over, and I'm just gonna put some pressure where the glue is to get it to stick. If it doesn't stick the first time, it's fine. We can just put more glue on until it sticks. And there we go. So that makes a little holder, just like that. Do we have any questions on that piece there, or can I move on?
No questions so far.
All right, sounds good. I will move on. And if any of y'all want to talk in the Q&A and tell me like what you're doing for the holidays, or what you're asking Santa for Christmas, or what you're getting for Hanukkah, let me know in my chat. I'd love to know what y'all are doing for the holidays. I just took my 5-month-old daughter to see Santa for the first time, and that was really exciting. She loved seeing Santa. All right, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to make the little card that goes in my holder. So I'm just going to make another square, just like I did before, but this time I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I don't have to have it be so long like I did with the other piece. It just needs to be a little square paper. And again, I'm just eyeballing it. If you want to be super precise, you could measure this and then just make it like maybe 1/2 inch to 1 inch shorter. But I'm just going to cut myself a little square here because I don't need it to be absolutely perfect. Just cutting myself a little square. It doesn't have to be a perfect square because it's my square. My square doesn't have to be perfect. All right. So I have this square here, and I have my holder. So I'm just going to test it to see if this fits in my holder. And yep, fits right in there, just like that. Let's get that out of here. So perfect. So now I have my square, and we're going to decorate that in a little bit, and that's going to be a super fun part. I'm just going to put these.
Lacey,
yes.
We have somebody who came in a little bit late, and they're asking if you can do the first step over. And then Carly said about Christmas, her grandma is coming over.
That's exciting. That's awesome that your grandma's coming over. Yes, I can do that step again. And again, if you come in late and you miss a part, this is being recorded, and we have the pre-recorded video as well. So if at any point you feel lost, you can go and rewatch it anytime. All right. So for that first part, all I'm doing is what I want to do is make a square that's a little holder. And so to do that, just like that. See how it has like a little holder, little pocket in there? So to do that, I'm going to take one piece of red paper, and I'm just going to cut a little bit off so it's more square. I'm not going to cut anything the length of it. I'm just going to cut a little bit off here so it's square, because I'm going to fold it together, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to probably cut here-ish. I'm not measuring it. I'm not being super precise. I'm just cutting it, kind of eyeballing it until I'm happy with it. All right. So now that I have my more square piece of paper, I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it just like this. And we're going to fold it so that the edges are together. And then I'm going to flatten it right here. Just like that. Press it together. And now all I have to do here is secure it together so we have a little pocket. To do that, we take our glue. So I'm using this little glue stick, and I'm just putting a little glue on the sides here. I'm not putting it all over, just on the sides here. So it can come together and make me a little pocket. If you put it all over, it's going to stick together, and then you're not going to have a pocket. It's just going to be a stuck together piece of paper. And if that happens, it's okay. You can always make another one. And I'm just putting a little pressure on those sides there, just so that the glue sticks. And then you've got yourself a little pocket. And that's the first part. All right. If we don't have any more questions, I will move on to the top of our little box here. So for the top of our little box, this is also a folded piece of paper, and our little square here is actually inserted in it so that it kind of looks like it's part of one big piece. This will make it easy. So when like you put it in your pocket, you can take it out really easily, and it makes that fun pop-up effect. All right, so I'm going to take my white piece of paper that I've already cut out on, and I'm just going to take a strip of this. And again, I'm not being super precise. I'm just making like a little strip. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm actually going to take it exactly like this. I'm going to make it a little thicker so that we can fold it down. So I'm just going to make a strip of paper that's about this thick. Now I'm going to cut the length a little bit, probably actually quite a lot. I just want it to be a little bit bigger than this box, so it looks like a little lid for the box. So maybe like right there. And you can use your box to measure how big you want your lid. And if you want your lid to be the same size as your box, that works too. There's lots of boxes that are like that. All right, so I'm going to cut about there. And again, I'm not being super precise with the measurements. I'm just kind of having fun with it. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it lengthwise, just like this. I call it like a hot dog fold. And press it down so it's nice and flat. And so again, I have that little opening there. And I'm going to take my little square piece here, and I'm just going to insert it like that. And then that's going to make our little box for our little pop-up card. And so to put this all together, I'm going to again use my glue. And this time you don't have to be super precise as to where you put the glue, because you're just sticking it all together. So if you want to put it all over, you can. Totally fine. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue just because I don't need to use a ton, but you can use as much as you want or as much as you think you need. Okay. And then I'm also going to put a little bit of glue right here on my card, just so that it sticks well. Okay. I'm going to put that about in the middle of this piece, and then I'm just going to flatten this down.
Stacy, should the white square be able to fit in the red folded one?
A little bit more glue here. Yes. So if your square doesn't fit in your little pocket, just cut it down until it does fit. So if it doesn't fit, just cut it till it does. It doesn't have to be super precise. Here, I'll show you right here. So now that I have this all glued down and I have my little red pocket, or it could be any color you want. You might be doing a blue present or a purple present. So if I put that in here, it fits right in there. So that's going to create that fun little pop-up effect for the pop-up card. Okay. So we have this done. We have our little piece done. Now I'm going to make a little bow for the top of our box here. And to do that, it's just a couple of rectangles with a little angle cut. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Fun little, kind of like optical illusion, like a little bit of crafting magic, if you will. Okay, so I'm going to take my green, but again, you can make it any color you want. You could do a red bow or a pink bow. Would love to know what colors y'all are doing because y'all are always so creative. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. I'm just trying to make like a little rectangle. Just like that. And then I'm gonna cut that in half again. And these are gonna become my bow. So to make it like this, you're just gonna cut one of the edges off here. So I'm gonna cut this edge off right here. So I'm just gonna do like that. And it makes it like a little bow. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna do it the opposite way though. Just like that. And you can make the bow any way you want. It doesn't have to be like this. It can be your own little bow. Or you could even draw a bow if you wanted to. And so what I'm going to do now to make it look like the bow is coming off the present is I'm going to glue it to the back of my little top and middle piece here. So I'm going to take again my glue stick and I'm going to make my pieces just like that. And you can always check to see if you like what it looks like before you glue it down. So let's see how that looks. There we go, a little bow for our present. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna glue it down just like that. And if you don't like it after you've glued it down, the glue will take a couple minutes to dry. So you can always take it off and then readjust it if you need to. I'm just gluing it down, gluing our little bow down, just like that.
We have a couple people asking if you can show how to make the bow one more time.
Absolutely. All right. So to make the bow, I'm just going to cut out a little rectangle out of my green paper here, which your bow can be any color you like. So a rectangle is just a longer square. Bit of a longer square. And again, I'm not being super precise with my measurements. And now I'm taking this rectangle and I'm cutting it again, cutting it in half. So now I have two pieces here. And to make the bow, I just angle it. So I'm just taking one of these corners off. So just like this. And again, your bow can be any shape you like. So if you don't want to make little pointy bows, you could make little round bows, or you could do a square bow. It's up to you. It does not have to be exactly what I'm doing here. All right, and I'm going to take this corner here. So I'm kind of doing the opposite on both pieces. And again, I'm not being super precise. And then that makes a little bow. And then when you glue it on, it looks like this. Super cute. All right. So now we have our bow made. So we've got really the tricky parts of this card done. And so here it looks like a little present, just like that. So now we get to do the fun thing of decorating, which is always my favorite part of crafting, is when you get to decorate your craft once it's done. So I'm going to take some of this out of here so it's not in our way. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little pom-poms here and I'm going to glue them to the top of my box. So it gives that fun little texture and it just looks really Christmassy. Pull this out of here. So for the pom-poms, I'm actually going to use some liquid glue because that works a little better than the glue stick for the pom-pom.
Hey, Stacy, before you do
Yes.
that, can you show how to fold the white top again? How you
Sure,
did that?
absolutely. I'd be happy to show that. Okay. So for the white top, let me get another piece of white here. So for the white top, what I'm doing is I'm taking my red pocket here and I want like a little rectangle, not a red, yeah, a rectangle. that's a little bit bigger than my red box here. So it makes it look like it's a little topper to my box, just like that. Now I'm going to make this a little bit thicker because I'm going to fold this together so that we can put our little white piece in and it can become a pop-up card. So to do that, I'm just going to eyeball it, but I'm just going to cut across and then we can kind of measure it from there. So I'm going to cut probably like that much. You can even just cut the piece of paper in half. Just make it a big box. That's easier for you. All right. And then I'm going to take my little box here. And then I'm going to measure where I want it. So I kind of want it like, kind of like that, like right there. So I'm just going to cut off maybe this much. Just eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be super precise. Does not have to be perfect. It could be the same size as the box. It could be smaller than the box. It's not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it lengthwise. What is known as a hot dog fold here. And then just crease it just like that. And then you take your white square here and you put it right in there and then you glue it together. And that's how you make the little topper, just like that. We good? Do we have any more questions? Any more fun comments?
Yeah, we have one question. Will it look good if we make like a full bow and stick it in the front of the white top instead of the back?
That would be amazing. That's a really good idea. If you can do that, go ahead. That sounds really good. Sounds like you're really good at crafting things. If you can make a full bow, that sounds like it would be really pretty. Love it when y'all are creative like that. All right. I'm going to take my liquid glue this time, and I'm going to put all my little pom-poms in a row here, just like I have it on our example image here. And if we have any like expert crafters like that can do all these fancy things, and you want to go ahead and move on to the next step, I have the finished piece here. Or you can always go and watch the video and you can fast forward through the parts you've already done. It's up to you. And again, if you don't have some of these supplies and you just want to watch, you can do that too. So right now I'm just putting a little glue on this pom-pom and then I'm just gonna put them in a row here on my box. A little glue on each pom-pom. Just like that. Doesn't have to be super perfect or precise. I'm just having fun. Let me know if you're doing anything special to your card or if you're going to give it to someone for the holidays or if you're just making it for yourself. Super fun making stuff. All right, I think I have room for one more pom-pom here. Just going to glue that down. All right, now I'm going to let this set aside and dry while I decorate the front of my pop-up card here. So I'm going to decorate this card exactly the way we have it here in our little example image. But again, if you want to decorate it a different way, you go ahead. You make your card any way you want. If you want to make bows or draw on it or put little pom-poms on it, or you could put glitter on it if you have some of that. Like, you just be as creative as you want with your card because it's your card. But I'm going to make this exactly the way we have it in our little example image here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little white strip to go on the front here. And to do that, I'm just going to take a little bit more white and I'm just going to make a long, thin rectangle here. And again, not being super precise with my measurement, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And you know, a ribbon can be as thick or as thin as you want it to be. So it really doesn't have to be a super precise length or or anything like that. All right, so I have my piece here. And I'm gonna cut maybe a little bit off so that it fits on the box. Perfect. Now I'm gonna glue this on with my glue stick. And I'm just putting it in the middle, but if you wanted to put it like on the side, or you wanted to do like a crisscross or something like that, you could do anything you want. You could do a different color. I always love it when y'all are super creative because you are super smart and super talented. All right, I'm just gonna put that right in the middle here. Gonna put a little pressure down so that it's nice and secure there. All right. Our card is coming along here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put sequins on both sides. I'm just going to take a handful of sequins here. I have a little bag of sequins, but you can use whatever you have at home. If you don't have sequins, you could use anything that you got, even if it's just like a pencil and you just want to draw on it, you go ahead. I'm going to use the liquid glue here because that's going to be a little easier to stick our sequins on with. And then I'm not going to be like super, meticulous with what type of sequins. I'm just kind of grabbing any sequin I see and I'm just going to glue them down. And it doesn't take a ton of glue. You don't have to put a ton of glue on a sequin to put it down, just like a little bit of glue. A little glue goes a long way with the sequin. Just putting a little glue down, and it's okay if the white glue shows through because it's going to dry clear. So you're not even going to see it when it's done. I'm just going to put a couple more sequins down anywhere I see fit for a sequin. It's making it nice and pretty. Love a pretty present. There we go. That's looking great. Now I'm going to do the other side. And if you have any questions or you just want to tell me how you're making your present, make sure to let us know in the Q&A, and our friend Chanel there is going to tell us all your questions and comments. All right, we're almost done with our little box here. All right, just a few more sequins, then we're going to move on to our next step. And again, if at any point you're feeling a little lost or behind, we're recording this and we have a pre-recorded version that's live right now on our website. So if you just want to go to michaels.com/winterworkshop, you can find that there. And then you can pause and rewind as many times as you need. So now we have our pretty decorated little box here. And we have our insert card here. So there's only one step left to do, and that's decorate our card. And so I'm going to make this little design here since this is what we have on our sample image, but you can draw whatever you want. If you want to draw what your Christmas wish is, or if you want to draw a fun design for a friend or a guardian or a parent, you could, or if you just want to draw something fun because you like it, go ahead, be as creative as you want. You don't have to draw this specific image. But I'll give you some tips and tricks if you want to draw this image. All right, so this is always my favorite part. I love drawing. I think it's a lot of fun. I'm not super amazing at it, but I like doing it, and that's really all that matters. So I'm going to start with this little tree here. So the secret to doing a tree like this is it's just a bunch of triangles stacked up together. And then you make a little tree. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make some triangles. I'm going to start with a small triangle, and then I'm just going to kind of make bigger triangles as I go down. And then do one big triangle for the bottom there. And then that makes a little tree. And then all I got to do is color it in. Super simple way to make a Christmas tree. You could also do a menorah if you celebrate Hanukkah. You could do anything you want. There we go. Super simple, easy to do tree. And now I'm going to put a little star at the top of the tree since we have one here. I'm just using a little yellow marker and I'm just going to do it. So I'm just going to start with a line in the middle, and it's a little hard to see that there. And I'm just doing a line, and then I'm going to do a line across. I'm making basically a plus sign. So like when you're doing math and you're adding, you use a plus sign. And then I'm just going to do 2 diagonal lines in my plus sign, and then that creates a star. Now for the window here, a window is basically just a rectangle. So I'm going to use my brown here. And again, you can use any color you like. You are welcome to use whatever colors you want. I'm going to make a rectangle for my window. And I'm not being super precise, just having fun with it. And then again, I'm going to do like a little plus sign in the middle for our window. Then I'm going to use red for the curtains. And the curtain is basically just a wavy line. And you know, a curtain is just fabric, so it can go any way you want. So you can make your curtains do whatever you want. The curtains could be closed, or they could be a different color. They could be waving. I'm just coloring in my curtains. I just made a little squiggle line. And there we've got curtains, just like that. Super simple. Now I'm going to do like this little Christmas tree garland here. And to do that, I'm just going to do a scribble. I'm just going to make a little scribble that goes over my window. And you know, a garland can go any way you want. So if it doesn't go this way, it could go around it, or it could just be on one side. You could do whatever you want with it. It's just a little scribble. And then last but not least, I'm going to draw this little doggy here. Now to draw the dog, I'm going to do a little oval shape. And so an oval is basically a circle, but it's just a little bit longer. So I'm just going to create this little oval shape right there, and that's going to be his head. And then I'm going to do a little triangle for the base. That's going to be his body. And then I'm going to make a little circle for his feet, 2 little circles for his feet. And then I'm going to make a line and a circle for his front paw, and then a line for his tail. Anything that you want to draw can be broken down into simple shapes. And that's what makes drawing super fun, is that you can make it super simple. So now I'm going to take my dog and I'm going to color him in. I'm going to make the tail a little bit thicker. And there's my little dog. My little dog next to the tree. Okay. Now it's time for the finishing touch, where I'm going to take my card with its pocket, and I've got the top of my card here, and I'm just going to put it inside to finish up our pop-up card. There we go. Ta-da! And now we have a fun little pop-up card that we've made all ourselves. There we go. That is how you make this fun, cute little pop-up card. Do you have any questions, or do you need me to repeat anything? Let me know. Just let me know in that Q&A.
We don't currently have any questions, but I'll give it like, a minute for somebody to chime up just in case.
Sounds good.
Sylvia says she's almost done, and Daniel said this is one of his favorite crafts.
Yay, that's awesome. I love it when y'all are having fun. and take as long as you need. You don't have to go as fast as I went. You can do it take as long as you need for your card.
Carly said she had fun. This card is so cute. And Ria said, you are the best teacher. I love this craft.
Yay, I'm so glad. I'm so glad y'all were here and that you had fun making the craft. I'm so glad you could join us. All right.
Sorry, we do have one question. Greta asked if
Sure.
you could repeat drawing the star.
Absolutely. So I can take a little piece and I'm gonna do that a little bit closer to I can use a darker color too, so you can really see. And then I'll do that really close to the camera so you can see really well. Okay. All right. So to do a star, I'm just gonna make a little plus sign, just like you would use in math to add up two numbers. Just like that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That you don't have to have the line just in the middle. And then I'm going to make two diagonal lines in my plus sign. And then you have a star. Super simple, easy way to do a star. And you can make it any color you want. Doesn't have to be brown. I just used brown so that it was a little easier for you to see.
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us for today's craft. Make sure to check us out again tomorrow to do disco ball ornaments. And I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone. Goodbye.